Welcome back, Beta. Now let's start this session. Varda, Zaresh, Nayaranas, and Nabila, you have to raise your hands that I can see whether you have joined or not. Sivita, those who have just given presentation, they have to raise their hands. Nabila, Nayaranas, Zaresh, and Varda. If you're present, raise your hand, Vita. Okay. Your voice is not clear. Yes, I think there was a network issue, so that's why. Is that clear now, Vita? Let me know in comments. Is my voice clear? Yes, okay. Okay, beta. Sibita Varda and Zaresh, Nairanas and Nabila. You have to raise your hand that I can give you a little bit feedback over your presentation. Okay, Sonia, after giving them feedback, I will give you a chance to give your presentation. Beta. Listen me. Okay. Yes, unmute yourself.
Sure.
Yes, Beta.
Assalamualaikum, sir.
Beta,
Actually, sir,
your voice is very low, Beta. Please speak louder.
yesterday I was absent because my group presentation was there. So I'm really sorry for that, that yesterday I could not join. But today
Beta, you have just muted yourself. That means you don't want to talk. So, Sivita, Nabila, let's start from your presentation. Nabila, your presentation, I couldn't understand because there was a distortion in your network connection, or there was problem in your hand free. I don't know exactly that what was the problem, but actually I was not understanding your presentation. That means your voice was not clear. It was very much hard for me to comprehend your presentation. So overall, what I perceived, that your presentation was just average, or we can say that it was a good presentation. Then Nayaranas came. Nayara, your introduction was good, and general introduction I'm talking about, and then you gave introduction to your topic as well, and the content was also good. That means it was a good presentation. Then Zarish, your presentation was good, and you get overall presentation was very good, but you did some mistakes in while pronouncing the names of the university words, like it's a Christopher Marlowe, so you're not pronouncing this name correctly. Then that is Robert Greene, then John Keats, okay, and Robert Lilly. These are the names, and you have to pronounce them in this way. And I'm afraid that you did not pronounce a single name correctly. So you need to work little bit on your pronunciation. Overall, your presentation was excellent because the content which you use, that was very much impressive. And because you also mentioned that William Shakespeare has written around 37 plays. Okay, beta. Okay, no worries. You said that William Shakespeare has written 37 to 38. No, they're not 38. He wrote 37 plays and 154 sonnets. So it was also good information. So overall, your presentation was very much impressive. I just liked it. And next, the Varda Zahid. Varda, your presentation was too lengthy. You took a lot of time because you took more than 10 minutes, I guess, or nearly 10 minutes. So you were supposed to speak for 5 or 6 minutes. So it was a very lengthy presentation. So better keep one thing in your mind, that time management is also very much crucial. Suppose if your teacher has told you that you need to give presentation in between the 5 to 6 minutes, I think Sonia is not listening that I am giving feedback. That's why she is messaging. She's sending messages in chat. You have to wait, beta. Let me finish. So I was saying, beta, you took more time, so you need to manage time because time management is also a skill which you must develop. Okay. So and overall, your introduction was also excellent, and you also your and the presentation of PPT presentation, I mean to say, your PPT presentation was also good. You used some charts over there, and then you jumped in between the slides, like you went to the 17th slide, then you went back to the first slide. It's a good thing that you are jumping here and there in order to make your concept clear, and it was a good thing as well. And in between your presentation, I just felt that you were forgetting some points and you were repeating the sentences again and again. Many a times you just repeated the sentences. So next time when you get chance, so try to avoid that repetition, and try to give presentation in a cohesive manner. Overall, it was a very good presentation. So this group is done. Well done. Good job. And wish you very best of luck for your future and for your studies. Now let's, Sonia, raise your hand that I can unmute you better. Okay. But where Sonia? Yes, yes. Start now.
Should I start?
Yes, start now.
Firstly, salam to all my class fellows, and also thank you for that giving me a chance today to present my topic. So the topic I'm going to present, that is the Emergence topic, and name is education period. Sir, please not repeat.
Yes, Veda, go ahead.
So now, firstly, I will tell you all that why this period is called the Elizabethan period. This period is called the Elizabethan period because this period was led by the English Queen Elizabeth, and this period was began in November 17, 1558 and ended on 24 March 1603. This period was a period of the emergence of new ideas and thinking. And this period is also called the Golden Age. The introduction of printing press means during the Renaissance, the introduction of printing press was one of the greatest tools in increasing knowledge and learning. It also was a reason of interest in the different sizes and inventions. Elizabethan reign was the time of music, art, and literature with the talent of Shakespeare. Means the music, art, and literature were at the top. Many people were interested to do this activity. It is also, and this is why this period is called the golden age of English history. And by the end of her, now I will tell you about Elizabethan somehow introduction. That she was the only queen never wanted to marry. It means that many noblemen, Englishmen, and many princesses, foreign princesses wanted to marry her, but she never wanted to marry. She never married, and princes and all these princesses and noblemen wanted to marry her in order to secure the succession or to be the part of her succession, but she never married. The two major religions of this age were Catholic and Protestant. Elizabethan reign was a time, no, by the end of her reign, the Church of England was safe and there was no chance of war of religion. Means after her period, there was totally peace and there was no chance of any war, rather of religion or any other thing. Now I will tell you about the university grade. The university grade is a group of seven. They were young seven dramatists who performed and taught in London towards the end of the 16th century. They are called university grades because they were the literary students of Cambridge and Oxford, and also because they have brought a new Renaissance district and yeah, they are called university grades because they have brought a new Renaissance district. And also they wrote the different and very interesting dramas, and they were the literary students of Cambridge and Oxford. They made Elizabethan period more popular with Renaissance, by their dramas. Means they brought the Chaucer comedies, parties, classical plays, chronicle plays, melodramas, etc. That's why that's why they are very famous, and they were very good dramatists, and they brought very interesting and good dramas. Now I will all know that in our physical class, our sir told us about the story of Arthur's Flag, that how the tragedy happens with him. Now I will define two tragedies. First is English tragedy and the second is Greek tragedy. The English tragedy, first the two parts of English tragedy are there. First is tragic flow and second is tragic hero. The tragic flow, it means in any play if a hero commits any mistake, so that is called tragic flow. And tragic hero, it means the hero is not a tragic hero until unless the tragedy doesn't happen with him. It means in any play if tragedy happens with hero, so the hero is called the tragic hero. And the second is Greek tragedy. Greek tragedy also two parts are there. First is faith and second is ignorance to knowledge. The first is faith, we see the story of Oedipus, right? That how it was his fate to marry with his mother. He was sent so far from his home, from his family, but because of that, he had to marry his mother. And also the second reason was ignorance of knowledge. Means he was ignored by the knowledge. He did not know that he was his mother with whom he was gonna marry. So the two things are there in Greek tragedy. So if anything happens cause of that and also cause of ignorance and knowledge, so that the tragedy is called Greek tragedy. So the conclusion of this tragedy is that we must be known about anything we're gonna do, any step we are going to take in our life. So we must be known about that. We must use the proper knowledge, and then we should step up for anything. That's all. And thank you to all for listening.
Okay, beta. Okay. Good job. Sonia. Okay, Sonia, beta. Your presentation is done. And now let's move forward. Beta, who's next group which wants to give presentation, please? So Hamajit. So we are ready to give presentation on English section literature. Okay, Sajan beta. Give me a minute. Nazir is also ready. Okay. Good to see you all, that you all are ready with your presentations. Okay, Nazir. Unmute yourself.
Assalamu alaikum, sir.
Walaikum assalam. How are you, beta?
I'm fine, sir. Thank you, sir. Can you please show my slides?
Yes, let me find it for you. Let me find your slides.
Okay, sir.
You are giving individual presentation, Nazir?
Yes, sir. I'm giving individual because I did not find any group member myself.
Okay, beta. Go ahead. Share your PPT.
Okay, may I start, sir?
Yes, beta. You may start now.
Okay, this is Nazir Ahmed, a student of BS English first year, section V. First of all, I would like to say thanks to Sir Abdul Khalique, who is giving us his precious time. So can you, sir, move the slides? Sir? No, sir, this one not. Next. Joffrey Chaucer, next one. Yeah, sir. Okay, so guys, you all have studied Joffrey Chaucer. That who was Joffrey Chaucer? So Joffrey Chaucer is one of the most famous poet of English literature. In his era, people used to write in Latin and French language, but when Geoffrey Chaucer came, so he started writing in English. In his era, people learned English and people started loving English. So Geoffrey Chaucer died in 14th century. After that, the dark ages started. You can say that people who were writer of that era, they all were called Chaucerian because they copy the Geoffrey Chaucer. they copy just Joffrey Chaucer. They could not write in their own wording, which because the churches, the popes did not allow them. The churches, the pope, whatever they suggest, whatever they order, the writer has to write. After that, because they all are called Chaucerian. So now I would like to tell you, I would like to tell you that the Renaissance started where? Renaissance was started from, sir, can you please go ahead? Okay, Dark Ages. What are Dark Ages? Guys, as you can see, the Dark Ages means that the era which was started after the death of Joffrey Chaucer, that era is called Dark Ages. Okay, so after the Dark Ages, Elizabethan age came, which is actually called Renaissance. Renaissance means rebirth of knowledge, rebirth of English literature. Everything was, you can say that rebirth. Elizabethan age. Okay, can you, sir, please move ahead? Okay, this one, as you can see that Constantinople is the place. It is located in Turkey. So people Turkish attack on Constantinople because there were a lot of things about the English literature, like you can say a lot of manuscript. So people migrated from Turkey, means you can say that Constantinople to Europe. Where in Europe they came? In Europe they came in Italy, where in Italy they started, you can say in Italy late 40s. First thing is that where it was started, the Renaissance was started late 14th century in Italy. It was started in Italy, and the author in Italy, they were, you can say, Dante, and there was one more, that was Petrarch. So can you, sir, move ahead?
Yes.
Okay, as you can see on the screen, these are the two writers. They were the most famous writers and poet of that era. You can say that they were the Italian writer. One is Dante and one is Petrarch. So Dante started from there. He, you can say that, learned from those manuscript which was taken from the Constantinople. So they started learning from that Dante. After the Dante, the Petrarch started learning from them as well. Slowly it was spread in all Europe. After that, after the Italy, it came into England in late it came into England in 15th century. As you can say that it was started in 15th century in England. Okay, sir, move. Yeah, Renaissance, it was started in 15th century and ended in 16th century. It was started in England in 15th century. As I told you, it was started late 14th century in Italy, but after that it was started in England in 15th century and end into the 17th century. Okay, so Renaissance means rebirth, revival, creative work. In this period, people learned a lot. People, you can say that people were free to write, especially the writer was, or were the writers were allowed to write whatever they wanted to write. So Italy, after that, it is a kind of bridge between ancient and modern period, comes after the Dark Ages. Okay, sir, next. Okay, as you can see, guys, these are the silent features. First thing is that what happened in this Renaissance period, Golden Age, it is also called Golden Age of English history because a lot of the creative work was done in this era. Okay, introduction of great poetry and drama were taken place in this era. The age of Shakespeare, as you all know, everybody knows Shakespeare is one of the most, you can say that one of the well-known personality in the world. So it is also the age of Shakespeare. That's why it is called Golden Period. Feeling of patriotism and nationalism means everybody has to do whatever they wanted to do. Okay, so most glorious age in the history of England. Printing and education took place here, means it was also the printing era and education era. Renaissance doesn't mean that rebirth of English literature, it was the rebirth of many things. Like you can say that the government and a lot of things took place in this era. Okay, focus on humanism, it was also the era where people focus on humanism and everybody was allowed. Okay, so Elizabeth, it took place in England when the queens, okay, they Elizabeth was the queen of the England, and she was also interested in such kind of poetry and other things. So she allowed everybody to do everything, whatever they wanted to do, especially the writers. They were allowed to write. They were allowed to do. They were allowed to write whatever they wanted to write. So that is the thing, I think, Renaissance. Okay, sir, I've ended here, sir. Sorry, sir.
Good presentation. Nazir, let me give you some comments over your presentation. Nazir, first of all, your introduction was excellent. And the second most important thing which I liked in your presentation, the content was really impressive. Okay. And after the content, now there are also few negative points as well. First of all, I'm आपके माइक से बड़ी डिस्टॉर्शन आ रही है तो going to mute you बेटा. So Nazid, the content was very much excellent, and your introduction was excellent, and and the third point, which was very impressive, that was your PPT presentation is outstanding. It is really outstanding, but still there was a room to make it more improve. Okay, there was a room to improve it more. Like what was the room like? You have not written couple of lines in the starting of in 7 slides, first, second, third, fourth, seventh. If you will write 2 lines or 3 lines, like we can say that you just wrote the definition or the basic concept of an idea which you are presenting, and you see this kind of PPT presentation will be very very much impressive. And I like the PPT presentation, बट अगर आप इसमें 1-2 लाइनें भी लिख लेते तो ये और भी बहुत ज्यादा अच्छी हो सकती थी. So it was a good presentation, but I think your mic was too close to your mouth, so that's why there was a lot of distortion. आप जब प्रेजेंटेशन दे रहे थे मुझे ये लगा कि आपने माइक को बहुत अपने मुंह के क्लोज रखा हुआ है ताकि आवाज़ सही जाए, लेकिन इसकी वजह से आवाज़ में बहुत ज़्यादा डिस्टॉर्शन आ गई थी. सो नेक्स्ट टाइम बी केयरफुल दैट you must have a distance between a mic, a proper distance between a mic and your mouth, that you can avoid the distortion. Apart from that, I also felt that there is also kind of issue in your mic as well, कि mic में से बीच बीच में ऐसे अजीबो-गरीब आवाज़ निकल रहे थे. See, so at least whenever you are giving your presentation, so make sure कि the hand free which you are using, that must be good, and there must not be any kind of noise in it. So these are the 2 points which I found, but overall presentation was excellent, and the way you presented, that was also very much impressive. But here I want to add, is there in from previous group, I think it was Zarish. Zarish is there, beta? Raise your hand that I can see you on the top of the list. If there is Zarish. Yes, she's there. See, beta, the point which I am trying to explain is regarding the presentation, that how you are supposed to contact in between the presentation. Like you, whenever you will listen this recording, then you see Zarish was saying that now we are moving forward to a next slide. She was using such kind of sentences, and she never said that, sir, please change the slide, sir, please go on next slide. She didn't say directly to me, but she was trying to coordinate with the classmates, with the listeners. वो आप लोगों से directly coordinate कर रही थी कि we are moving forward to a next slide. Now we are going further to a next slide. So see, in that way she was trying to coordinate with the audience, with the listeners. So if you will use such kind of technique, देन अब ये मैं नहीं कह रहा हूँ कि अगर मैं कोई आप मुझे कह रहे हैं कि सर प्लीज चेंज द स्लाइड तो मुझे बुरा लगता है. नो, नॉट एट ऑल. मैंने पीपीटी शेयर किया तो ऑब्वियसली आई विल चेंज द स्लाइड, बट यू सी इट इज काइंड ऑफ टेक्निक विच इज मोर इम्प्रेसिव, विच इज मोर यूनिक, विच इज मोर गुड, विच इज मोर ऑथेंटिक, एंड विच इज मोर जेन्युइन. तो आप इस तरह की कोई टेक्निक यूज करते हैं तो इट मेक्स योर प्रेजेंटेशन मोर अट्रैक्टिव. तो आपकी प्रेजेंटेशन को ही वो अट्रैक्टिव बना देती है इस तरह की टेक्निक. So if you would use such kind of technique, suppose in future when you are giving presentation, online presentation to any teacher, किसी और टीचर को आप जब presentation दे रहे हैं तो इस point का आप जरूर ख्याल रखिएगा. Then you try to coordinate, try to interact with your listeners. ठीक है, आप उनसे आप इस तरह से प्रेजेंटेशन दें कि आप उनसे इंटरेक्ट कर रहे हैं कि नाउ वी आर मूविंग फॉरवर्ड टू नेक्स्ट स्लाइड, या आप जो भी पॉइंट एक्सप्लेन करें तो आप डायरेक्ट लिसनर्स को कोड करें. In between प्रेजेंटेशन के अंदर भी आप अपने लिसनर्स को कोट कर सकते हैं कि डियर मेयर्स, द पॉइंट विच आई एम ट्राइंग टू मेक इज दैट, मैं इस बात को समझाने की कोशिश कर रहा हूँ या इस पॉइंट के बारे में बात करने की कोशिश कर रही हूँ. इन दिस वे, you can try to interact with your audience as well, so it makes your presentation very much attractive, very much attractive. So that was a good presentation overall, Nazib. I liked your presentation. Now let's move forward to a next group, which is of Soha. Yes, Soha, beta, unmute yourself.
Yes, sir. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam, beta. Beta, how many members are there in
Sir.
your group?
Sir, first Muqaddas will present.
Muqaddas. Okay, is Muqaddas.
Yes.
Where is she? She has not raised her hand, so I'm unable to see her. Please, Muqaddas, raise your hand, beta. Is she present, beta?
Yes, sir. Sir, she don't know how to raise her hand.
Oh, she don't know. Okay, let me find her. Muqaddas. Yes. Yes, Muqaddas, beta, unmute yourself.
Assalamu alaikum, sir.
Walaikum assalam. Beta, what is the topic of your presentation that I can share your screen?
Middle English.
Beta?
Middle English, middle.
Middle English. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Did you send the PPT in group?
Yes, sir.
Okay. PPT आपने send की है, but I cannot see Middle English. PPT कब send की थी?
Sir, आज की.
सुबह?
Yes, sir.
आपकी पीपीटी पे जो नाम लिखा हुआ है वो बता दें मुझे.
मुकद्दस इनायत.
मुकद्दस इनायत. लेट मी फाइंड इट इन गूगल. शायद आपने बाद में भेजी है. ओके ओके ओके. ये आप लोगों ने हर मेंबर की अलग अलग बनाई हुई है. इज दैट सो बेटा?
Yes, sir.
लेट मी फाइंड इट विद इंग्लिश. जैनब, आपके ग्रुप मेंबर है?
Yes, sir.
सो हम ये नहीं तो हम फुल टाइम हैं. उज़ैरा अजीज, आपकी presentation. But I'm unable to find your 50. Can you send me? एक काम करा करे बेटा, जब आप पीपीटी का नेम देते हैं ना, तो किसी ने लिखा हुआ है प्रेजेंटेशन 1, किसी ने लिखा हुआ है प्रेजेंटेशन 2, किसी ने लिखा हुआ है प्रेजेंटेशन 3. व्हाई डोंट यू राइट योर नेम?
सर, इम्पोर्टेंट प्रेजेंटेशन.
क्या नाम है इसका?
इम्पोर्टेंट प्रेजेंटेशन.
अच्छा, इम्पोर्टेंट प्रेजेंटेशन. अगर आपका इसके ऊपर नाम होता तो मैं 4 ही ढूंढ लेता. ये मेरे पास पड़ी हुई है बेटा. लेट मी शेयर इट. हाँ, मुकद्दस इनायत. कैन यू सी इट बेटा? Okay, you may start now. You may start now.
Starting is the greatest name of Allah, who is the most merciful and most beneficent. My name is Muqaddas. Today I am going to present my topic is Middle English. The Norman conquest of England took place in 1066. It caused radical change in life, culture, and language of England. Culture and language of England. The Normans were originally from Scandinavian, occupied part of northern France. This was Normandy. Normandy was a province of France. William, Duke of Normandy, defeated to the heart or last Saxon king, famous Battle of Hastings in 1066, became the king of England. The Norman conquest, the Norman conquest to the landmark history of the British Empire, politically to the result of establishment by the strong centralized government. By the strong centralized government, William Conqueror made elaborate arrangement to the detailed survey of landholders of England.
landholders of England. The Domesday Book of the 1085 was the result of their great survey of feudal excess root from the Anglo-Saxon England. The Norman administration encouraged the further growth of the feudalism by the famous Salisbury Oath in 1086. In 1086, William made land on Lord over all England via unconditional loyalty to him. The Norman conquest also opened a new approach for our church art. Thank you, sir. I invite my team member, Zainab. She explained making of English language.
Okay, beta. Zainab, beta, unmute yourself. Yes, beta Zainab.
Assalamu alaikum.
Welcome, Assalam. Beta, your presentation is presentation 342.
Sir, Zainab's presentation, making of English language.
बेटा आप लोगों ने जो लिखा हुआ है ना उसका नाम लिखा हुआ है प्रेजेंटेशन 2, प्रेजेंटेशन 3, प्रेजेंटेशन 4, उसमें से कौन सा 2? तो ये बता दें। हाँ सर, ओके, लेट मी शेयर। बेटा यू हैव 5 minutes to explain it, okay?
Yes.
Because in 8 minutes this session is going to be expired, then we'll join again. The last session is also there. Start now.
Yes, sir. Assalamu alaikum. My name is Zainab, a student of BS English Section B, and my topic is the making of English language. I'm going to start with the slide 2. First, I'm going to talk about the emergence of French and English. French enjoyed greater prestige and social status, but the majority spoke English. The two languages gradually merged in one, which is what we call as Middle English. French remained the official language for a few centuries, and then this led to the enrichment of English language with the larger number of French words. The period between 12th to 14th century is known as the medieval age. It is the formative period of in English history. There was the growth of parliamentary government, the development of lower courts, the risk of the universities, and of course the shaping of the English language. The 13th century saw the gradual evolution of parliament in England. It saw a rise in popularity of long didactic poems presenting biblical narrature, sense life, or moral instructions for those who are untutored in Latin and French. And then the Magna Carta, signed by King John, and it was issued in 15 June 1215, and it was the first document to put in writing. The principle that the king and his government was not above the law. It sought to prevent the king from exploiting his power. And then the last is 100 Years of War. The medieval Britain witnessed a series of wars with France, which known in the history as 100 Years of Wars, which released the feeling of national consciousness and patriotism both in France and England. And that's it for my presentation. Now my other group member, Uzaira, will come and present her part. Thank you.
Yes, beta Wazira.
Assalamu alaikum, sir.
Walaikum assalam, beta.
My name is Uzaira. Today my topic is Joffrey Chaucer.
आपकी पिपटी शेयर करनी है बेटा, बता दें कौन सी है?
Sir, 3. Joffrey Chaucer.
Third,
Yes.
repeat presentation 3. Okay. Uzaira, okay beta. Wait. Can you see it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, start.
Joffrey Chaucer was born in 1346. Was an English father of English poetry and father of English literature. He was the first writer buried in Quiet Corner of Westminster Abbey. He saw 3 kings, Edward III, Richard II, and Henry IV. Chaucer many other works are the Book of Witches and the House of Fame, the Legend of Good Women, and Trellis in Textile. Its literary can be divided into three periods: French period, Italian period, and English period. French period lasted until 1372, according to the Norton Anthology of English Literature. During this time, Chaucer translated the Roman de la Rose, a French poem written during the Chaucer extensive reading of Latin poets such as Poetus also influenced his own work. Italian period up to 1387, because during this time his work were moderated on Dante and Boccaccio. English period, widely considered the greatest English poet of the Middle English, best known for the Canterbury Tales, as being called the father of English literature, or alternatively the father of English poetry. So next is Soha Majid.
Yes, Soha Majid.
Starting with the name of Allah, who is the most beneficial and merciful. Assalamu alaikum to my dear fellows and my respectable teachers, Abdul Khalique. It's Soha Majid, and today my topic is Canterbury Tales. So Canterbury Tales is a collection of, so sorry for noise.
Don't worry about it. Go ahead.
Canterbury Tales is a collection of 24 stories. Chaucer initially intended to write 120 stories, but he ended up writing with only 24 stories. These stories are told as a part of storytelling contest, which takes place by a group of pilgrims who are moving from London to pilgrimage, which is called Canterbury, to visit the shrine of Thomas Becket. They are in all 30 pilgrims. There are all 30 people, 29 pilgrims, and a narrator. So these 30 people journey from London to Canterbury, and while they are going towards Canterbury and coming back from Canterbury, they'll be telling two tales. So each pilgrim will be telling 4 tales in all, 2 tales while they are going towards Canterbury, and 2 tales while they are coming back from Canterbury. In all, 30 pilgrims will be telling 120 stories, but Chaucer was not able to complete writing these 120 stories. He wrote only 24 stories and died. So moving on another slide. There are many important tales, but I'm explaining only 2. So the first one is Night Tale. About Night Tale is that 2 important things about Night Tale. That one is that it's the first tale of Canterbury Tale, and number 2, it's a high romance told in. So the Night Tale about their tale, the story is that there are 2 friends, Arcite and Palamon. They go to Athens, which there are Duke of Athens, Theseus. He captured them and imprisoned them. While they were in prison, they look outside and they saw a beautiful girl, which was Emily. So they both fall in love with the same girl. So that's create tension. They decided to do a battle, and whoever wins the battle, he got the hand of the beautiful girl, which is Emily. So Arcite wins the battle, and there's a sort of earthquake which he dies, and in that earthquake, and Palamon got the hand of the beautiful girl Emily. And the next tale is Wife of Bath's Tale. So 3 things about Wife of Bath's Tale explained. 3 questions basically. Number 1, she tells about her relationship with her 5 husband, and the views on virginity. And number 2 and number 3 that what